Yes, sir.
With your wife?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Alejandro Elias here from Texas, and with Victory Chiropractic, right?
Victory Spinal Care. Yes, sir.
Victory Spinal Care, excuse me, Victory Spinal Care. So I'm super excited to have you on the podcast. We've had Dr. Henri Dalis and Jared Whalen, part of your team. So I'm so fortunate to be able to have you. And I didn't know that you were practicing with your wife. How long have you guys been together?
Yeah, man. First, thank you for having me. What an honor you have, Dr. Jared, Dr. Henry, two legends, and now
Yeah.
me. That's pretty sick, pretty humbling. Yeah, I've been in practice for 4.5 years with my beautiful wife, Emily. We're in Abilene, Texas, West Texas, middle of nowhere. That's exactly where we are.
Yeah, yeah. You like it out there.
I love it. I'm an island boy. My wife is from the coast as well. We love the coast, but we felt the Lord called us to be here in Abilene, and we're just following the path.
Okay, well, I want to hear more about that. You got a
Yeah,
man of faith, a man of faith. How did you
yeah.
get from Puerto Rico and your wife from the coast? Which coast?
She went to school in Wilmington, North Carolina.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, so she loves the coast. We were in Sherman chiropractic school in the moment. It was the middle of COVID. We got married. We just went to the court, spent $90. We got married. We didn't have money to afford
Yeah,
a
yeah.
wedding.
That's
So that's
okay.
exactly how we did it. And we said, hey, where are we going now? It's the middle of
Yeah.
COVID. And we said, why don't we drive around Texas and see what's popping over there? Like, let's
Yeah.
get it. So we just, book a backpack out there. Flew to Abilene, Texas, actually. That's where the star of Texas is on the map. So
Yeah.
we landed there. I freaking loved it because it was super chill. No rules with COVID. No one was wearing a
Yeah.
mask. People could care less about like there was a pandemic going on.
Okay.
Every gym was open. Every coffee shop was open. So we love coffee. We love working out. That's exactly what we did here. Meet people, and then we went to different towns as well. And I was like, "Hey, Em, like, what do you like?" And she's like, "I don't know. That Abilene town reminded me of Cars." I'm like, "I never seen that movie. I'm not a movie person." I'm like, "Is that a good thing or bad?" And
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I think it's good. I'm like, all right, that's where we're going then. And yeah, we set roots there. I remember we flew here. Then that was in January. 1st of January, we went to Abilene. Then we went back in March, signed a lease for an office and for a house. And then we moved in May. And then we had to go back to South Carolina to walk graduation in June. And
Mm.
then we live on Dr. Jerry's basement for 3 months, actually.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, at least they had some space for you, and you
No,
probably learned
but that
a whole
was in
bunch there.
Missouri. So we had to
Yeah.
go back to Missouri in that time because we were training with him. Our
For
story is pretty unique. Did he talk about the story that we have with him?
He left it so blank that we could talk for a whole podcast about it. How about that?
That's exactly how he is, man. Like, yeah, he doesn't like talking about himself, and dude is a legend. But he's so I'm so glad that you found him because he's super undercover in our profession. And like dude is doing so good and he doesn't like talking about it. He's just like the most humble human being I met.
Yeah.
But we were doing our internship in his office. It was the only office that we found that had two dogs, and it had to be one dog per intern. So my
Yeah.
wife and
Yeah.
I, like we do everything together. So we went there, and when we started, I remember the first day they saw like it was a Monday. They saw like 220 people in one
Yeah.
day between three dogs, and we got to the Airbnb, Emily and I, and we literally went to bed with the same clothes, and we didn't shower. That was gross. I feel so disgusting saying it, but
Yeah.
the point of this, if you're a student, you need to listen to this. It's like we're exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Like in clinic, you see one person, you see three people a day, and you're like, dude, I'm killing it. I'm seeing three people a day in clinic. But after seeing 220 people in one day, standing up, moving back and forth, interacting with people, we never felt that. And that's not just energy like on your body, but it's mental as well. Because all you're listening, most of the 95% of the people that come is negative. If you know what I'm talking like, I have migraines, I have vertigo, I have a trigeminal neuralgia. So it's a lot of conditions that people are just, they bring negativity because that's how they're not feeling good, dude. So they're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna come like, I
Yeah.
feel great, I'm here. Like 5% of the people are like that they understand chiropractic and they're here, for my wellness check. So after that, we got to the Airbnb and we just crashed on bed because we were super exhausted and we woke up the next day like at 4 a.m. and we're like, oh shoot, we
Yeah.
need to do it
Yeah.
all over again. Let's shower and let's get ready again. And
Yeah.
after 3 days, it became just the normal. That was the normal. you
Yeah.
know. So after that, I was like, we could see this in the office, you know, like we could definitely do this. And then the 3 month pass of the internship, and I remember we had dogs, so we had to move with one of his staff because we were on an Airbnb long term, and it the time came over and we couldn't extend it because it was already rented. So one of the staff moved us there, like 30 minutes from the clinic, and we were talking on the table. And Dr. Jerry was opening a clinic for a couple because he just wants to help them. You know, the couple needed him at that time, and like he just wanted to help them. And I was kind of like, dude, why don't you do that with us? Like, in my mind, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in pain. You haven't approached me, bro. Like, you and I are tied. Like, I've shown you what I can do. We're tied, and you haven't told me anything. And the CA, we were having dinner with her, and she's like, I don't know. I think you should approach him, man, and like see, like tell him how you feel. I'm like, all right. I remember with Emily, like we watch Shark Tank every single day. Like I freaking that's the
Nice.
only
Nice.
TV show I see. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. If you need to jump in, just jump in, and like let's get it. And we went to his house. They bought Mexican food because I don't know. He sees me Hispanic, dude, and people always buy Mexican food for me. It's insane, so funny. And we were eating, and I was like, okay, dude, this is what I have. What about if you open my clinic, no money down, no loan or anything? You just open the clinic. We become partners. You own that. I own this. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, there's more. I haven't finished. If it works for me, we're gonna do it to other students.
Yeah.
And he's okay. If it doesn't work, we just shake hands and we just separate our way. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, there's one more thing. We know our profession is messed up. There's a lot of chiropractors that I know making it out there.
Yeah.
If we can help those chiropractors as well, I'll shake hands right now. And it's like, let's get it. We shake hands.
Yeah.
We literally signed a paper. I don't have it with me, but it was a napkin. Like
Yeah.
just in case.
And
We did it on a
that's
napkin, but at the end of the day, we don't even know where the napkin is. We just shake hands and let's get it. And ever since it has worked out, you know. So for me, that was the biggest blessing out there. We partnered with him, we graduated, and then we had to live with him. I don't know if it was 90 or 60 days in his basement. And we literally like he went farming, we went farming, we went to the gym, we went to the gym. Like everything that he did on his personal life, we were doing it. Because that's how like it wasn't just about technique, adjusting people,
right. Right.
interacting with
Right.
people, but like how are you
Lifestyle.
thinking? How is your mindset when you're outside of the clinic? Because that's what's going to drive you. How do you take care of yourself is how your clinic is going to grow. So
Yeah.
that's how the story happened. And then we open and thankfully everything has been good. We've been helping a lot of people and now we have multiple clinics.
Yeah. That's amazing, brother. So you and your wife have multiple clinics?
With Dr. Jarrett. So the three of us partner and we've done what we said on the paper. We acquired 2 clinics from 2 docs that were not doing great. One was recent, the other one was 2 years ago, and he was stuck in I think it was like 8,000, and now he finally broke 46,000. And then we've opened 1 clinic, and we're in the process of opening 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. I like it. That's good, dude. So what is your vision?
The vision is to have 300 clinics.
Mhm.
Probably I'm not going to see it. I'm going to be fair with you because it takes a lot of time and energy. Probably my kids will see it, or probably the kids of my kids will see it. But we just want to leave a legacy of, you know, if my kids move somewhere else, I want them to be like under good chiropractic care. And I don't have to be thinking about, you know, like you see the Facebook pages of chiropractic, like any good chiropractor here, any good chiropractor there. I just want to like, hey, you're going there because I know exactly where you're going to get.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, you'll love the podcast that comes out with Dr. Whalen because he talks about the 300 number too. So
there you go. Yeah, the big Gideon. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah, Gideon. That's right. That's one of the thumbnails. Got the Gideon behind it.
Yeah.
It's true, man. That's awesome. So I was reading on the Victory Spinal page. What is it? Victory Spinal Care page that you have a good chiropractic story. You used to play baseball and with your father, and he had a surgery. And what happened with that?
Yeah, man. So it was actually basketball. Me and my brother, I have an older brother, 5 years older. Him and my dad and I used to play basketball literally every weekend. Like that was our life. Like if we were not on the basketball court, then we were like home for a little bit, and then we had to go back to the basketball court. And he was always with me. He went to practice with me and everything. And all of a sudden, he started having back issues. And those back issues become like worse and worse and worse to the point that my brother, he was on the Air Force in that time. He was stationed in Destin, and we moved him. We went there, and my dad just got stuck. He couldn't move, dude. And we're like, okay, like we're getting on a plane like that. That's gonna suck, you know. We got on a plane. Went back to the island, took him to every chiropractor. Like he got adjusted, he got therapies, but he just went whenever the pain was painful, basically. So there was days that he felt good, but we know the body's not good. You know, after one adjustment, you're not gonna be better. So none of these people presented a care plan to him. And they were just doing like crazy stuff here and there. And I was like, there has to be something better, you know, like, and we're just focusing on the pain. There has to be something more than the pain inside the body. And again, I didn't know any of chiropractic in this part, but I knew there had to be something else. So I was playing college basketball in that time. And I remember I got the call like, hey, your dad is going into surgery, whatever. I'm like, dang, that sucks. I was 2 hours away. I couldn't make it, but I had to like practice games, so I couldn't do it. Thankfully everything went well, you know, but the problem of that is that like he's not the same human, you know, he's not the same. He cannot move the same. He cannot play with me. He's not gonna be able to play with my kids whenever my kids start playing basketball. So that's
Right.
painful, you know. That's something that I picture all my life. Like, dude, like we're doing this together, you're gonna do it with your grandkids as well. So it's not gonna happen. And I imagine like that, there was a lot of people, and I was like, I want to do something related to this. I'm not the smartest human being. So I was like, I don't know if I could do chiropractic school. Like that's gonna be super hard, dude. Like I could barely like do a bachelor. I cannot imagine a doctorate degree. And that's when everything started like sticking on my mind. But the story flipped. We had a hurricane, category 5. I was going to my 4th year of chiropractic of undergrad, and I was training all because I wanted to play professional basketball. I'm like, you know, if I could do chiropractic, cool. I'm not too smart, so I'm just gonna like focus to play professional back home. And I started training a lot. That last year, my senior year was gonna be the best year, and all of a sudden this hurricane came. I think it was September 18, something like that. September 18, actually. Yeah, it's funny, chiropractic. Um, and then it demolished the island. And I remember 3 days after the hurricane, I was cleaning my roof because there was leaves, and you know we didn't have power, we didn't have water, we didn't have anything. And my brother called me, and I had service. I don't know how because no one had service. And he's like, "Dude, go to the airport tomorrow. I buy you a plane ticket." I'm like, "Sweet." So I had 3 underwears, 3 shorts, 3 shirts, and my flip flops and a backpack. That's how I went to Florida. I got there, and I'm like, "I'm gonna be with my brother. I'm gonna party, and I'm gonna play ball. That's what I'm gonna do until like season starts." But the season was gonna start probably a year later because the island was not working at all. So I moved with him, and he's like, "Hey, you need to read this book and look for a job." And I'm like, first, I don't know English, and second, I had never read a book in my life. The book was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Are you familiar with that book?
Totally.
Yeah, so that was the first book I read. And I was working as a maintenance on a hotel in Destin because that was the only I applied for like something crazy, and they're like, "You're gonna be a maintenance guy." I'm like, "All right, I don't have anything around me on maintenance, but I'll do it." And I remember I started working, and 2 weeks later, I'm like, "Dude, this is like I'm not following my purpose. What about if I go to Cairo school right now and I skip the bachelor?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, that's insane. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I could barely pass this bachelor. How am I gonna do that?" So I just applied to life and German. Got accepted in both. Was gonna sign in live that same night, and my buddy called me from German. He's like, "Bro, like, I'm doing this. I'm not convincing you, but this what I'm doing. This what the school's about." I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." You know, like it's less distraction if I go to German because I know myself in life. I just want to go out. That was how I was back on the day. And I went to German, and I met my wife literally the first day. She told me, "Oh, I talk Spanish," and I'm like, "All right, do you want to study together? Because I don't know English." And she's like, "Sure." And that's when we started like dating and all that, and that's exactly when I knew, okay, I'm on the correct spot. I was focusing on the disc pain of my dad, the surgery, and that's when I started understanding how the human body works. I'm like, wow, this is insane. Actually, like this is like no one else is doing this back home. In that time, no one was doing that. So it's insane that so many doors open. So it's like I know you're familiar with Grant Cardone. He talks about problems become opportunities. So that's exactly what it was. A big problem, a hurricane became a huge opportunity, a huge blessing, and it's changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's true,
that's
man. So
yeah.
what? So now that your father had this surgery,
Yep.
and now that you understand, what is that resolved in any way since you've been able to like come out of chiropractic school, or what's going on with?
He doesn't have pain, obviously, like, okay, but now he's understanding the power of chiropractic. Like he's under upper cervical care with one of my buddies over there. So now, like a lot of people have open clinics, and I know Life has a clinic there as well. So now we're approaching the more holistic, how the body works. in
Cool.
Puerto Rico. So now like it's easier, but that's something
Yeah.
that he was always focusing on his pain. But by me understanding the big picture, the concept, I was able to translate that to him, and now he's under care over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. And what a cool way for you, man. You're like a little, like, what do they call the people that just sailed over across the ocean, just like an explorer?
Yeah,
You know
literally,
what I mean?
dude.
Like from Europe to America, or from, the Nordic
Yeah,
countries down in the ocean, Chinese coming around, all circumnavigating the world. What do they call those people? Like a conquistador, not
something like that.
whatever.
Yeah,
But
but I
whatever.
just saw the
You have a
opportunity, and I'm
very,
like, let's
you got
go
a
for
big
it.
heart. You send it all the way.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Have you always been like that?
Not really, man. I was like super introvert, super shy, but I saw that as a big opportunity. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So this is where I'm curious. At the beginning, you said you followed God and you had faith to stay in Texas. So were there any spiritual signs during this process that you're like, hey, this is where I got to go? Or when you met M, what
Actually,
was that?
no. There wasn't like any sign. I was just, like, I don't know. It was in the middle of COVID, and I was so mad at the world in that time, like many of us probably. So I was like, I just want freedom in this moment, because we were
Yeah.
saying like this happened today, like this year, this is gonna happen again eventually. Like, where can we be to raise a family without all these things going on?
Yeah. Yeah. In the middle of COVID, I was in California with my
Ooh,
uncle. He's a world-renowned chiropractor. He has a coaching system as well. But when we were out there, we were in this little pocket, just like a block of Newport Beach, that is just like totally like the town in Texas that you're
yeah,
talking about. Everybody's like giving the finger to everybody who's having a mask on, or I mean, it was brutal. In
yeah.
California, people were very emotional about it. I used to have hair like a rock star, down to the middle of my back, and a big old beard. I look like a like a
I could see that.
glorified
I could see
gardener.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so I'd walk in, me, my uncle, and my lady at the time. We'd walk into the grocery store with no mask, obviously, because we would bring out the constitutional law. Like, we had all these kinds of. We had a checklist of things because it would come up so much. But people would come directly to me because I'm not a very big dude. I'm like 150 pounds, 5'6", and maybe because of the long hair and the beard, I just was easy to approach and berate, But I'm a feisty, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
come out swinging, it's kind of funny. It
No,
was
that's
a
cool,
crazy
honestly.
time, right? I mean,
It's crazy world.
yeah, crazy. I mean, we had a couple of events. Actually, Robert Kennedy Jr. spoke at one of these events in California during COVID. Have you heard of Billy Dumas,
Is that your
chiropractor?
uncle?
No.
Yeah, I
But
freaking love Billy.
Billy and my uncle were in school together, and they practiced together right out of school. So like my
Okay.
uncle is from that era, and he's fired up like Billy. My
No,
uncle's
I love Billy,
Fred.
man. Like I every time Billy was talking around, I like used to go to his talks. Never been to Cali Jam, but that's something I have on the bucket
Yeah,
list.
yeah. Well, so it was actually Billy's events, and he got RFK Jr.
Yeah.
to come and speak to us, and he got another lady who had like found the cure for HIV back in the 80s, and she had a big crazy story of why that never came out and whatever else. It was an interesting time. But I imagine that, I heard of these towns because my uncle coaches different practices all over the States and some in other countries. But it's just really fascinating to hear what happened for chiropractors during that time, because some of them were shutting down because they were scared of, some sort of repercussion. But the people who listened to my uncle during that time doubled their practices, like all of them. He would give them the constitutional laws. I mean, there was some chiropractors who had the police come in, 12, 14 times in a few months, threatened to shut these businesses down. And they had no legal right to do that. And the doctors would just prescribe to their patients a note saying that the masks obstruct their breathing for whatever. But, some of these people went from seeing 400 a week to seeing like 800 a week.
Dude,
I mean,
it was like
crazy.
a big opportunity for chiropractic in that moment. If you think about it, like ever
Still
since,
today.
I feel chiropractic was never gonna be the same because like people are starting to wake up and say, like, okay, there has to be something else more holistic. Like
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I felt it like more people are being like more holistic after that. And something that I was like pretty frustrating and like out there on the bus was Sherman, man. Like we were in that time in Sherman. I remember my wife, like they were about to fail her, like, and she was like 4.0, 4.0,
Yeah.
like dude,
Yeah.
like so smart. And they were gonna fail her in her last quarter because like she wasn't wearing a mask. And she's like, what do we
Yeah.
stand for? You know? And like you
Yeah.
have all
Yeah.
these people like bringing money to the school, all these donors, and like they don't know what's going on inside the school, you know, that they're
Yeah.
falling for this BS. What are we doing? Are we just trying to like fit with the world, or are we gonna fight for
Yeah.
what we are, you know?
Yeah. Well, hey, I totally agree, man. I mean, this was the fight across everything. I was in the military, and I was like a military epidemiologist. I went over in the Middle East, and I was in charge, me and one other person, of about 15,000 soldiers' health, preventive health, you know, making sure they don't get sick. So when this happened, I was with my ex-wife, and we were looking to buy a house at this point. But it, I was living with my parents in their back bedroom, waiting to like buy into this house during COVID. But then the COVID happened, and it just went crazy. My parents, um, they were scared. Obviously, they didn't want to hear anything that me or my uncle had to say, even though, you know, I mean, we're one of the most qualified
Mhm.
people of holistic health. I mean, it
Literally.
wasn't that crazy. I mean, people weren't dying in the same numbers as the common cold, so it, you know, wasn't what everybody was making it out to be. But we were having to like, my mom was requesting that we take the Clorox and bleach all the bottoms of our shoes. We had to like walk in like bleached towels in like a metal tray. And as soon as that came out, I was like, I gotta go, man, because this is insane. I mean, if there was any fighting chance of my immune system, bleaching literally everything is going to reduce my natural immunity to fight off a sickness.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't understand. You're making yourselves more vulnerable to the thing that you're afraid of most. You know, like,
Yeah. And I
it's
like
crazy.
when I was in school, I felt like double face basically. It's like we're learning all these
Yeah.
things, like we're supposed to be the best philosophy school on the world, but then like you're coming with that BS. It's like
Yeah.
that's why like when we graduated, we were like kind of hurt with the school, and I didn't want to know about the school for a while because I'm like, it's kind of double face if you think about it. You're
Yeah.
teaching me something, but then like now is your time to prove yourself, and you're not doing it. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
dang, like come on.
Well, that's why it's good to have somebody like you and your wife on their team, because no matter what's happening in the world, no matter what everybody believes, you're an independent thinker. And that's what's dangerous about you to the average person, you know?
Yeah, and I see it. You know, like
And you're a leader.
chiropractic school, and especially now you that are in life, it's like they give you all the tools, you know, and it's like they give you all the tools. I see it as a construction person, you know, you use different tools for different things, but at least you have all the tools, you know, and you can use those tools to like help more people or educate people or like, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, I was bothered about that. Like you gave me all the tools and you're not using your tools now. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. True, man. That's the truth. And so, I mean, since you've come out of chiropractic school, you went straight to Dr. Whalen's to do your to peak.
Correct.
All right. And then UNM after that went, you had already decided to go to Texas, and then you went back there and he helped you open up this practice. And what was it like? You
Yeah,
started
man.
as an entrepreneur day one.
It was sick, honestly, because we had 90 days to open. That's when we moved back to Texas. He gave us, okay, 90 days, you're going to open. Doesn't mean you're going to be watching Netflix, bro. Like, we're going to work. I'm like, bring me on the work, dude. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it. So we were knocking 100 doors a day, and we were meeting business owners. When we knock on the door, it was like, hey, this is Alejandro, this is Emily. We're thinking of opening a business here. Like, if you were gonna open a business, where would it be? You know, just to get information about the town. We already
Yeah.
have a lease, but like, still, we wanted to interact with the people. So we did that. We met over 3,000 people. Um, we knocked in every single door. We got rejected. We got a lot of different words around, but we just did it, you know, because we
Yeah.
knew what the mission was gonna be about. And the funny part of that is every time when we got home, uh, we wrote for the people that we met that it was at least 100 people a day 100 written letters like, hey, it was great meeting you. I love your shirt, or I love the flag that you have in your house, whatever it is, a detail. Every time we met them, my wife had a notebook and she was writing like details about these people. And the next day, we went to the gym at 5 a.m. After the gym, we dropped out on the mailbox and do it all over again and all over and all over. And we were in every activity, every event. And during this process, we were about to get licensed on a, I think it was on a Thursday. And on a Wednesday, my wife got a call and said, hey, you've been reported by the board. Uh, you cannot get licensed until we have our next board meeting. And that's not until November. And we're like, shoot, come on, dude. Like, what's going on? And then we started like thinking, flashbacking. And there's a chiropractor in town that works for the board. And he offered us a job. It sounded like amazing, but the philosophy was not there, and we were just not on the same page. And me as a male, I'm like, dude, I could provide for my family. I'm definitely gonna do this. And Emily was like, no, this feels wrong. Like there's something
Yeah.
off. It's not our core values. Like, what are you thinking? I'm like, okay. So we kindly rejected that. And then he reported us to the board, and we couldn't get licensed until November. And thankfully, the building was supposed to be in October ready. It got delayed to December. And I'm like, wow, okay. I hear you. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Like everything has been delayed. Okay. And then I remember we went to the board meeting and we hired a lawyer. We were broke as hell, but we still hired a lawyer. Just like we were gonna win this, but it's like you cannot keep messing with us, dude. We're ready. And I remember like put a suit on. I felt like freaking like Gideon in that time. And I
Yeah.
went there. I look at him on the eyes. Like I was shaking my head to the guy because I knew it was him, whatever. And then like everything was good. We got licensed like a Monday. That was a Friday. That meeting we got licensed on
What
a
were
Monday.
they? What were they accusing you of?
So here in Texas, you cannot call yourself a doctor until your license. So it's insane. My diploma says doctor of chiropractic. I cannot call myself that because in Texas, you need to be licensed first. I'm like, all right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, that's kind of a stupid law, but we'll follow the game.
All right.
And
All right. All right.
we kept doing it, without saying doctor. Now we say Alejandro, whatever. Like, we kept meeting people. That was an opportunity like that light me up. I had two choices to do: stay at my home, watching Netflix, and just beating myself up until like we get to that meeting, or keep meeting people. So
Yeah.
we kept meeting people, and I remember we opened the first month with 63 new patients. I believe it was so like it was a massive opening, and
Nice.
I'm like,
Nice.
it was thanks to this guy. So I'll keep doing it, and still to this day, like he reports us every now and then when we do marketing. Like if we talk about gut brain connection, or if we talk about kids with ADHD and things like that, we get reported to the board every time, once a month at least. We send the research, we argue it, and then we keep going, like, it's part of
Yeah.
the game. But it's
That's
like,
awesome, man.
I'm gonna keep fighting for what we do, because like I went to school, I learned all this. You guys probably learned the same things. Like,
Yeah.
you know how the body works. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's,
So
yeah.
is
So that
there
was
a
like,
way
yeah.
when you do your marketing now? I mean, obviously you're saying the truth. So this guy is just coming around and whatever his belief system is, maybe he feels bad about himself. What's his deal?
I don't know, man. I feel bad for the guy, and I remember I still see him around. I just go and shake his hand, and he tries to avoid me. I'm like, bro, like, I don't have anything personal, Like, I know you've been here for years already. He's an older folk. I'm like, the matter, dude. Like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say hi to you. You're still in the same profession. You're a colleague. And now with the marketing, like, we just brought an in-house team. It kind of light a fire on us, Like, it's helping us grow even more because like we're hiring different marketing companies, and now we brought our own marketing team department. So it's like we're doing everything by the rule, everything by the law. Still gonna like he's gonna find a way, but we have another way based on the research and how we're stating everything we
Yeah,
presented.
yeah. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. So you guys have grown now. What are you guys seeing in your practice?
Yeah. So we like, what do you mean specifically? Patients, patient visits, or type
Yeah,
of
yeah. What are your
patients?
goals? Have been hitting your goals? What's going on in your practice? Obviously, you guys are not shy to go out and put in the work to hit your goals. So what's
Yeah.
happening?
So right now we are 5 chiropractors on this clinic. Uh, the 3 of them are full time. My wife and I just go every now and then. We try to go once or twice a week just to increase that dopamine. Because I tried to not working for a month, working behind the scenes on the business versus in the business, but I just got like kind of depressed. And I remember like My coach told me go and see like 100 people one day, and like your dopamine is gonna come back. And I'm like, hell yeah, it was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
best day ever. So like now I go twice a week. I just people we're seeing around 500 a week, around
Nice.
that, yeah, around there. We focus on the upper cervical, but we do full spine. We don't take insurance or anything, and I know
Nice.
once you come to the clinic, you're gonna be educated on like how the body works. So
For,
that's my main goal, educate people and like explain them the importance of being on the chiropractic care.
for sure. Yeah. So I'd love to talk more about you guys, your philosophy on working on your business instead of in the business. I know that you mentioned that you're a coach for a coaching group with chiropractic. So
Mhm.
uh, I have no idea about what you're doing, but I'd love to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so there's the E-Myth, the book talks about this. There's a type of working in the business versus working on the business. Working in the business is your daily life, going see patients, do the soap notes, whatever it is, educate people. And that is going to get you to a level. And you're going to find that to go to the next level, to break that point that you haven't broke yet, you need to start working more on the business, on things that are going to move the needle forward. Like how are you getting new patients? How like working on the vision. You become a CEO. Working in the business, you're the practitioner. Once you have the opportunity of working on the business, that's when you become the CEO, the visionary of it. And that's when everything starts. And I recommend this to every single person, even if you're seeing 30 people a week, you still need to take at least 4 hours a week and work as a CEO, even if that means just go for a walk with no distraction, no phone or anything, because like that's when clarity is gonna come and like new ideas are gonna come. But new ideas are not gonna come while you're seeing people. It's impossible because like your dopamine is just present there, adjusting people, helping people. So there's a big difference there. And once I started working more as a CEO, more on the business, that's when the breakthrough was happening because new ideas came, like you're never going to know how to bring new ideas. And now for a team, we have a team, I think, of 12 or 13 people. Like, I need to come with new ideas to like for these people to play to their strength and make sure we have the right people on the right seat. And that's not going to happen if I'm there daily.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, what does a day in your life look like as the CEO of your business?
That's a great question. Yeah. So I literally do my things. I still wake up 4 or 5 a.m. I do my things, work out and everything. And once I get to the home office, I'm locked in. Like I have two screens here. I go to the numbers. I put the numbers there. Okay. This is what is happening. Okay. And you start to find holes in the bucket. And once you recognize that you could find the holes on the bucket, because every business is going to have a hole in the bucket. It's just recognizing that. And once you recognize that, is how can I fix this? And sometimes one problem, it takes me 1 month of literally just working and digging more to find a solution for that.
Mm.
Sometimes it takes me like I'm here working and I need to go for a walk. And I go for a 20-minute walk. And that's when the idea comes. I'm like, crap, okay, like when I know I'm not moving the needle forward, that means I've been working too much and I haven't had time for myself, quiet time.
Mm-hmm.
And once I have that quiet time, is when my creativity starts working. But like here now with multiple clinics, I go over the numbers of every single clinic. I go over the marketing of every single clinic. I make sure the payroll is good, that the staff is bonusing correctly. I check in with every clinic. I have weekly coach calls with them as well. So I know I'm missing a lot of stuff here, but that has helped us a lot. And a good thing that has helped with our communication is been using ClickUp. So if you're a student, start to get familiar with ClickUp, because if your business grows to a point, instead of micromanaging, you can use ClickUp and you know exactly what everyone is doing, and that has helped us so much. So I go to
What
the
is that?
computer.
Can you explain
So
it a bit more?
yeah, ClickUp is basically, instead of using Google Sheets and all that, ClickUp is when you tell, let's suppose I tell Kira, start working on this drop analysis on the clinic, and she starts working on it, and I could see exactly what she's been working on and what has she done by entering the app ClickUp, because there's a task and you put a to do, like you put in a date. This is due by this day, so you could be checking what she's doing while she's doing it, and it's on the phone. You get notifications when people submit it. Like for us, McDonald's has this. They have a checklist of when you open and when you finish your task as well, your shift. So we have the
Right.
same thing on ClickUp, and I get a notification every time it's done. Okay, this got done. That's great. It's not micromanaging, but you're just checking in without asking them. Because when you're asking people, that feels like micromanage. But if you're actually checking, because they actually completed the task, we check everything there. We have link there with all those stats. So at the end of the day, when they submit the stats, I go there, I could look for them. So
Mm,
it's simple things that when you have a marketing department as well, what they're doing, you could check there. If you have a social media department, you could check there. Like I have a social media girl, and that's how we communicate. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna post this," and she just submit it on ClickUp. I see it, I approve it, and then she's good to submit it. Instead of having that back and forth text messages, everything is to ClickUp.
nice. That's cool. Okay, and this is just like a third party app.
Correct. Yeah, and it's not like specifically for chiropractor. It's just for every business owner out there.
Nice. That's cool. All right. I'm glad. The first question I was asking was like, does it feel like micromanaging? But you were saying that obviously you're checking up on it. So how do you, as you're looking at all the tasks that are getting completed every day, is there something that you're helping other businesses and you're finding, like, as soon as they, like, let's say they implement the system, or they're starting to hire you as a coach, is there something that you're noticing in practices that is a super common problem and is holding back the practice from growth?
Man, the main problem of what I've seen already, and it's literally the main problem, is the mindset. Like people are not willing to put the work, and if they're willing to put the work, they're still thinking on a scarcity mindset that things are not gonna move forward. So the problem most of the time, like I used to read this, that the problem is the owner. I used to read it. I'm like, that sounds so cheesy, but it's become the reality. Like the owners of the practices are going through so much stuff personal that it's reflecting on their business, or like past things that they like dealt with. They're bringing it to their mindset and it's affecting their clinic. But most of the time, like if you could work with the mindset of a practitioner, the office is going to boom. It's not about getting new patient, it's not about reactivation. It's literally the mindset. Everything comes back to the mindset, because if you have the correct mindset, you're going to do whatever it takes to go out there and just meet people and bring them to the clinic.
Okay. So are there certain attributes of your mindset that you would attribute to the success that you've had?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm a go getter. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to do it. Cause like I know what it was like having an account in zero
Mm,
and being surrounded by the wrong people. Like I know about that. I have friends that were murdered before I moved to the States. Like I was not living a great life. But something that was holding me, although I have that quality of like, I'm going to go for it, it was the scarcity. Because I had a mindset of like, I don't want to go to that time again when I had zero. So I'm going to start saving and I'm just going to play it safe. And it wasn't until 2.5 years ago that I was able to work on that mindset of scarcity versus abundance. And I became more abundant. And it's so easy to fall in that scarcity mindset still. Just because I work on it doesn't mean I never have to work again on it. Like me myself, I probably like phone that at least once a month still, and that's like at least I have my wife up there like, hey, like, dude, you're falling on that scarcity mindset. Let's fix that. So
yeah.
and now I'm starting to recognize if that's happening to me, because it's not
W-
easy just to switch it off that scarcity.
Is there an area or like a pattern that you've recognized in yourself that triggers the scarcity reaction?
Yeah, everything comes back on the scarcity mindset. For me, it's basically financials, especially now with two kids. It's like I always come back to the same mindset of like, I don't want to go back to zero. If I go back to zero, like what happens? Like I'm dead,
Yeah.
like I'm a
Yeah.
failure. But now how I reprogram my brain is, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? We lose everything. We're sleeping under a bridge. Okay, I have the tools to build something else right now again. So it's totally fine. You took the risk, didn't work. Let's just build it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you using your money in a different way now to than you have in the past?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because I was thinking, so at first I was just saving, 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 and just like I didn't want to give money away. And I remember my wife used to buy things for the staff, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, we need to save, like we're not there yet. And she's like, chill. She was like,
It's like chill,
chill,
Alejandro.
just trust
Chill,
it,
bro.
whatever.
Chill,
And
bro.
as
Yeah.
soon as we
Yeah.
started giving more came our way. So
Yeah.
now we're like so easy to give, give, give. Like as an example, like we're flying our nanny to come with us to an event that my wife and I are speaking in San Diego. We're flying our nanny, and she messaged, "Oh, like I don't know what to do with my kid, whatever. screw it, bro.
Right.
Bring him. I'm gonna pay
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Let's bring him as well.
yeah, yeah.
Because like you're gonna be more present, and it just feels good. I'm gonna be so happy when I see him playing on the pool. I'm gonna be super happy. So
Yeah,
like now it's
right.
so easy to give, give, give. But I was always in that mentality of I need to get. And when I
Yeah,
switched that to give versus receiving, it was like a freaking like different mindset. And that's when I
yeah,
knew the scarcity was out. And sometimes again, I still fall in it. Like, wait,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember, and it comes back. I think it was 2 years after we opened. Uh, Dr. Whalen, he was telling me like, "Hey, let's focus on opening more victories or whatever." I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm not gonna like do that in the moment. I'm gonna buy Airbnbs." And I bought 3 Airbnbs at the moment, three in one time. It was like 90 or 120,000, and those Airbnb was a pain in the butt. I didn't know one of them were fighting eviction, and the other ones were not cash flowing. So I lost overall like 120 and a lot of distraction and 4 months of just distraction on
Yeah,
Airbnb
yeah,
instead of on the
totally.
clinic. And that's when I started noticing, like, dude, like, okay, I'm not following my calling. Why am I focusing on Airbnbs when we said we
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
open 300
totally.
clinics? Like, that is so double faced. And that's what I tell my chiropractors now that are on Victory. I'm like, okay, like, you can invest in these clinics. Like, don't fall in the trap. One of them came to last week and he came over and he was like, yeah, I want to start Airbnbs. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, no, you don't. And I went over numbers with him and I'm like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
open this
yeah,
clinic in Florida. Just like, let's invest in this
yeah,
clinic
yeah, yeah,
instead of you
yeah,
making that mistake. So it's like, it's so easy to get distracted.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Have you been getting on the calls? Are you on the calls with Grant Cardone and his team?
I
The
am.
sales
Yeah,
calls?
I
Yeah,
am.
yeah. They're fired up, huh?
Are you doing it as well?
Well, I'm a Grant Cardone business coach.
Oh,
I'm
really?
a business coach with his program. Yeah. So I mean, we went through the. I mean, we go through the whole thing. We have calls all the time, but
Okay.
it's
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
that helps me with my
So
mindset for sure.
yeah, so I follow Uncle G for a while, and then Dr.
Yeah.
Whelan
Yeah.
was telling me this because it was funny because I was telling Dr. Whelan about Grant Cardone in the past, and he's like, "No, whatever." And then he started going to this conference, and now we added our whole team for sales calls. That way they can improve their
Yeah.
sales skills, and it's being game changer overall.
Yeah. 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 That's awesome, brother. So, okay, I got a question for you then, because you're already fired up. So there's no stopping you. I
Yeah,
mean, you've seen that since you were young. You're trying to be a college ball player. Like that wasn't just like a whim. You weren't just like, oh, I think I'll play college basketball. You're dedicated to
yeah,
whatever you do. You met your wife. You were like, that's my lady. That's it. She's fired up. That's probably why you love her a ton, because she keeps you in check. She's not
yep,
afraid to buck up and tell you just to stay humble or like get your shit
yep,
together.
literally,
And she probably believes in you more than yourself sometimes.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So then you're like, fuck, I gotta do it. You
Yep,
know? I'm
yep,
scared. She's got full faith. Like, I can't let her down, but I don't know how the hell this is gonna work out.
yeah,
So that's easy for you. You have an incredible support system. Also, Dr. Jared. And how are you guys changing the mindset of your team? Because not all of these people they don't have the same situation. They haven't learned that. They haven't practiced it. So are there steps that you're taking to get people where they're at? Are you telling them the vision and trying to figure out where they land? Like, what's your guys'
yeah.
strategy for that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we go over the mission and vision in every meeting and the core values because it takes 7 times for people to understand one concept minimum. So if it takes 7 times, I see it as probably 50. So we go over the mission and vision every single time. But the main thing that has worked for us is we do a EOS meeting, level 10. It's based on the book Traction by Gino Wickman.
Mhm.
That's a concept that we use in our clinics overall. And we go over scorecard, personal wins, to dos. We go over the rocks, that is the goals for the quarter and the year. And then we have IDS. So it's identify, discuss, and solve. Most of those IDS is more mental things that we have seen throughout the week or throughout the call, and that's when like the breakthrough happens. The breakthrough doesn't happen going over the numbers. The breakthrough happens like you talking, and I can find the problem already what it is based on how you're talking. And then like we put so much energy into them, like on the mindset aspect, because again, I told you everything is going to be mindset related. And it's just like there's people dealing with like traumas from the past that as a man, like most of our team is men. As a man, you feel like weak talking about your past and your traumas, but that's what's gonna help you level up. If we're open and vulnerable talking about that, that's what is gonna help you level up. Because we see every person as a we see their potential. Like we're not just hiring because who you are right now. We hire you because we see the potential that you have. We partner with you because we see the potential that you have, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to get that potential out. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
like how much of my time and energy is gonna take me. If I see your potential, I'm gonna keep digging deeper on it. And that's what it is. Like we see the potential of these people. We told them what we see the potential. They don't even know it. So our job is to break it. And breaking it is basically like challenging them. A lot
Yeah.
of people are not good just receiving that. Like for me, you tell me do this, I'm gonna do it. Or you have to like talk to me like bad for me to like get it, because that's how I was as a player. So the coach tells me you suck, okay, I suck, I'm gonna get better. But some
Yeah.
people, you told them that, they just start crying. So we
Yeah.
were able to identify that. And Dr.
Yeah.
Jared brought this example because he coaches wrestling, and he
Yeah.
noticed that the kids that lose, they're not able to take the feedback in order to be a better wrestler. But the kids that win, they're ready for the next step on how can they keep winning and getting better. So whenever we see our team is winning, that's when we tell them like, hey, that's a great month, that's a great week, let's do this now, and that's going to help you now because this versus when they're down, we told them you need to do this, it's not going to work. But if they're winning, we told them you have to do this, now they're going to do it. So it's basically how to communicate, and that's being a big takeaway from me, how to communicate with people, because I was communicating with people how I like to be communicated,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. 99% of the people are not that way. So it's now understanding like once they're winning, it's the time to bring that feedback. But when they're losing, don't keep beating them down. Just be a cheerleader, basically, in that moment.
Yeah. 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 That's cool, man. So you said you have 5 doctors, but 12 people on your team.
Yes, we have 5 docs and 7 CAs, I think. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. And it's pretty
How
cool because one of the CAs now is going to German actually in January. So it's just cool. Like when she told me that, I'm like, dang. And she's 40.
you
I'm
did
like,
it?
dang, these people are
Yeah.
getting it. Like how exciting. If she comes back, great. If she doesn't come back, it's okay because
Doesn't
I
matter.
know what
Yeah.
she's gonna do in the world, and now she has the tools. So for me, that's a win. I wish every staff like gets it and goes there. But
Yeah.
my philosophy is like I need you when you leave the clinic. I understand you're not gonna be here forever, but when you leave the clinic, I want you to live better than when you came. If you live
Yeah.
basically the same or worse, I feel as a failure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool, brother. That's cool.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
been pretty
have, how old are
humbling.
your kids? How old are your kids?
My kid he's about to be 3 next month, and the other one is 5 months.
Oh, just recent, Len, huh?
Starting, bro. We're
Yeah.
starting this process.
You just starting this process, meaning like you want to have more kids?
My wife wants more. I think I'm done. As a sensitive subject at the house, but it's just having. I even lowered the tone. Having one, it was cool. Pretty like humbling, but at the end of the day, my wife was more involved. Because like that. As soon as we had the kid, it's when I became more obsessed with the like with working, and I literally work every single day because I love it. And then when we had two, it was like, shoot, we don't have family here. She needs me more. And we started playing man to man defense, basically. We're not playing zone anymore. Now it's man to man. So we need to
Yeah.
be more involved and all that. But it's just been cool. Just having that supporter. I feel like having a spouse, the correct spouse, can take you to the next level. And that's been the biggest blessing there.
Well, for sure, brother, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. I mean, hey, how many more does M want to have? Does she say
He wants a total of 4 or 5.
4 or 5? Hey,
Yeah.
nice, brother. Well, hey, you'll figure it out, bro.
We'll figure it out if we stay
You'll
with
figure
two
it
more.
out. You'll figure
Let's
it
see.
out. No worries. No worries.
Let's see. These chiropractors love having kids,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. They have healthy kids, so that's the whole
Man,
difference
yeah, it's
too,
pretty
right?
cool. That's true. Yeah, they come to the clinic, they're running all around, they get adjusted, and people are like,
Yeah.
"Wow, like he's not scary." Like, no, bro, he
Why
was
would
like
you be
literally
scared?
one of them was born blue. Like he got
Yeah,
adjusted
yeah,
like 1 second after he was born.
yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah, I know, right? You know, I was adjusted, thankfully. My uncle, I was going to be a breech baby, and he did the Webster technique, and I flipped in my mom's stomach right after the adjustment.
That's
Just
pretty cool,
one.
dude. You were meant to be a chiro. There you
I
go.
was meant to be a chiropractor. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's true. It took me a while. It took me a while to get to school, but I'm glad that I'm here now. You know what I
you're
mean?
doing it now. There you go.
Yeah, man. And then it's cool to meet chiros like you, Dr. Whalen, Dr. Dailies. I mean, we had Randy Kale on the podcast as well.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's a lot
So
of energy.
I know, man. It
Yeah.
is. It is. He's got
Yeah.
a lot of energy. It's true. So it's just been really cool to be into the knee, chest, upper cervical gang because my uncle, he does a lot of CBP, AK,
Yeah.
adjusting. So full spine kind of analysis, and that's I've been through all those courses so far, and so it's just cool to see like where everybody's mindset lies. Thankfully, there's a Dr. Kyle Fogel. He has a podcast, a couple of them on here too. Really great if you want some good watches. But he does CBP, AK, and I mean he does all kinds of functional medicine. I mean he's got like a anti-aging clinic as well. He's got all kinds of cool machines and stuff like that. But it's cool to meet different people who are studying different kinds of chiropractic because there's like a mindset with each group, and it's very fascinating because I don't know if you've experienced this in your time as a chiropractor, but the knee, chest, upper cervical guys, from my perspective, are very rooted in the principle. They're very principled. Typically, they have a strong spiritual foundation. They have incredibly strong family values. They're dedicated to themselves, like at a very, very high level. The CBP guys I think that sometimes I see that a little less, maybe the spiritual foundation, but those dudes are like, I mean, some of the things that they're doing on x-rays are just insane. I mean, they come out with these studies all the time, and they got nearly 400 research peer-reviewed studies in top journals in the medical industry and in the chiropractic industry. I mean, total trendsetters and spine geeks that are just helping us like prove that chiropractic works in so many ways. My Bella, my lady, her father, he studied toughness. He studied TRT. So, working with energies and it's just, it's fascinating to be in a profession that has so many subsets. You know what I mean? And it's cool to experience how much people can heal in all ways. You know what I mean? Not every technique results the same way. Not every technique has predictable outcomes.
It's crazy, but at the end of the day, like all of them work. It's like crazy, like all of them work. But going back to the upper cervical guys, like I was like that, like why are they so passionate? Like what? It's the only thing I learned in school, to be fair, because my wife's brother is a chiropractor as well. He was working with an upper cervical, and that was like literally I went to chiro school without getting adjusted ever, and that was my first adjustment, just knee chest. And I was like, why are they so like hardcore? But then I started like studying what you said, like, they're super value with the family. They're so present with the families. They want to take care of their families. And it's all goes back on the upper cervical world to the green books though. Like those people like literally know their green books. Like they were quoting like quotes and then they tell you the pages. And I'm like,
Page,
like
page 57,
so weird.
paragraph 2, sentence 3.
Literally. I'm like, this is so weird, but it's so
like the
cool.
Bible, brother.
It is so cool and so weird at the same time. But again, at the end of the day, I'm a big believer. Like if you're doing chiropractic, like everything, it doesn't matter the technique that it is, it's gonna work. So yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, it's cool. It's so cool. And here's the deal. I created this podcast to unite chiropractors because like you're experiencing with this guy who's just been out of shape, that you guys are not afraid to tell people what chiropractic is about, and reporting to the board for whatever reason. I want to use this podcast to unite a profession because, like you said, there's so many things that work, and there's so many things that maybe somebody's not, maybe they got some physical trauma and they're not trying to get slammed by a Gonstead guy. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody's got some other trauma. They don't want to be put into some contraption, or, maybe somebody doesn't want to be touched, and completely opposite. Some people are like, man, I don't get any kind of touch. Just slam this and send it home, send me out my way.
Literally.
But I think that there's so much room for us to be able to come together and prove that chiropractic works. I mean, it's like we all know it works, but we're sitting here making research to show the world through a lens that they can deem palatable. I was talking to somebody the other day about CBP, and I'm pretty sure that they're the most researched technique, just quantifiably. Yeah. And so we were talking about blind and double blind research studies, which for some listeners, if you don't remember, a double blind randomized trial means that the doctor would have to make an adjustment and the patient would have to receive an adjustment, and then but they both have to not know what's happening, essentially, for that to be like the highest form of research, which is so funny because we started to get into this conversation about why that was significant that the chiropractic will never have a double-blind research study. But it's like, I started to think about this because I was so upset at myself for not having an answer to this, because I feel like it should be, there should be an answer to that, right? Meaning, like, maybe I don't need to come up with the double-blind research study because, hey, maybe you can't fake an adjustment and you can't fake receiving it. But neither do surgeons. I mean, you can't fake a surgery, but nobody bats an eyelash when it comes to surgery. You can cut open your face or inject whatever you want, and nobody cares about that. You know what I mean?
Literally.
It's just an interesting point of view for me to think about. Like, people are like, well, chiropractic is crazy, and maybe that's true for people. Maybe it does sound crazy that your body could heal itself because they've lived an entire life and they've had to depend on something other than themselves and things outside of them. Like, they literally have no idea that that's possible. And everybody in their family is experiencing the same thing. Well, how could you just crack my neck and, like, there's no ADHD anymore? How can my kids be calm? How could my mentally handicapped child function better? How can he speak for the first time? How can these people with epileptic babies stop having seizures? How could somebody with HIV or cancer just spontaneous remission after chiropractic care? Not to say that all chiropractors are making that happen, but there are some that are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. So, okay, if there's one thing that you could understand fully about chiropractic or about where we're headed in this as a profession, like, what would be something that would satisfy a curiosity that you have or a desire that you have for yourself, the profession? What would that be?
Yeah, I don't have it for myself, but it's two things. How can the profession be the first profession, like, to people to think about when something is happening on their body? That'll be the number one, to be the primary source. And number two, selfishly, going back to the practitioners, to the chiropractors, how can chiropractors think better about money? Don't think about money as a negative thing, but think better about money, because the more money you have, the more people you can help. But we're in this, like, they don't want to charge what they're supposed to charge because they're scared. So that's undervaluing the profession, and then their quality of life goes downhill as well as chiropractors. So it's like, how can, like, they be doing better financially?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, statistically, what is it? The average patient visits is somewhere around 10.
If even that, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, even that, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then the average amount of years someone is a chiropractor is 5 before they quit.
I've seen that a lot.
this is we have a similar purpose. I mean, this is something that I've seen as well, where I've seen the most incredible healers just go do real estate.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
sad.
mean? Like it is. It's because nobody teaches you how to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
And being an entrepreneur is hard. No matter what, no matter where you're going, like starting out as an entrepreneur, you're dragging through the mud. You're making decisions. If you have any sort of like gambling or high self-image that you can do it, you're like, I could do it. And then you find out, well, I can do it, but maybe not as fast as I thought.
yeah.
You know what
It's
I
like
mean?
everyone said, like there's a, everyone says this, like if it'll be easier, if it'll be easy, everyone will be an entrepreneur. And second, it's like people try to have a work-life balance. Like whoever has it, just let me know, because like I don't have one, and I'm openly about it, and people look at me like an asshole. But it's like
Yeah.
there's no work-life balance, and thankfully I have a spouse that understands that and supports me. But like in my world, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the home life is balanced because you're working.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing every time. If I'm not working, I'm gonna be with the kids. When I'm with the kids, I'm thinking about what else can I create, like to improve the business. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, until you get all right, this is the whole thing about having abundance and wealth creation. Until we can create systems that pay us without having to show up, or another human being is capable of running it. Like it doesn't mean that there's zero work. It just means that you're buying time, right? This is what all the
it's
wealthy people buy. They just want to buy freedom and time.
it is buying back your time. It's gonna bring more problems. Of course, you're dealing with more people. It's gonna bring you more problems. So it's like, like it's gonna be a new level every time. But it's like you just need to get comfortable with that and enjoy the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, hey, you're making babies on the way. You're not making excuses. You can have a practice, seeing 500 a week. You're just helping support 3 other doctors, 4, meaning with your wife.
Yeah,
You got 5 of you guys in the practice. You got 7 staff. I mean, that's 11 families. You know what I
literally,
mean?
that's how I
That
think
you
about it.
guys have. You're just helping to support 11 families. I mean,
Literally,
not
that's how I think about it.
including the ones that of 500 people. Maybe not seeing
Hmm.
500 families, because you're probably seeing whole families.
Yeah.
Maybe 3.
Hmm.
But that's cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So, well, what are like the next steps for you? Do you have something that you're working towards for 5 and 10 years that you have pretty clear?
Yeah, man. We're now we're opening 2 clinics. The goal will be eventually to start opening once a quarter. So 4 per year. That is something that we're dialing the system in for it to be smoother, and we could work on that.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to opening up these clinics, you guys have like imagined exactly what would happen for like the first year? How long are you guys, what is the process of going, okay, well, we need this amount of time to acquire it. Once you say, okay, how long does it take to decide, are you acquiring a business, or are you creating one, like renting a space and putting all the equipment in there? Like, what is it that you're looking for?
Looking for both, honestly. Looking for both, but we prefer the startups. It's way easier. You don't need to like work with other things, like change a lot of things. When we acquire, you have to work a lot with the mindset, and then like changing the whole system. When we open, it's mainly with students. Mindset, it's not quite there, but it's easier to work on that mindset
You
than
can teach
working
them.
with someone that has been doing it for years. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still in the learning
They're
process.
used to learning. They're used to
Yeah,
learning.
but the process overall takes 90 days in order for like to be up and running.
Cool. Well, if there's anybody watching this and they wanted to reach out to you, like, what do you have, like qualifications that you're looking for? Like, hey, students in this area or that area, like, how can I help
Honestly,
find
yeah,
people?
we're looking for
Oh,
that chiropractor that is thinking of closing or selling. How you mentioned the 5 years, we're looking for those people to like engage them back with the profession. Have them winning, because if they're winning, they're not going to be thinking about getting into real estate. As an example. So it's like we're looking for chiropractors that are losing and want to start winning and are on the edge of quitting. It's like we got you. That like satisfied me. And then students that don't know what to do, students that like they don't even qualify for a business loan, or they're scared of taking another loan other than the student loan, so it's like, how can they win as well? That's always what we're focusing on. Like right now
Yeah.
we're opening for two students. Two of them, they graduated, both of them, and they didn't want to take another loan. One of them has a family already, another one is just married, so they're ready to go up and running. And I know they're going to start profiting the first month if they follow the systems.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes 90 days to open. And then um, what is like, what is the vision that they are coming into? Like, you're like, hey, you know what? If you come work with us, you'll have a practice that should be about this. If you follow the steps, like, what is the practice that they're looking to come into?
Yeah, so it's not one for everyone. It's just like, what's the practice that you want? Because at the end of the day, you're the owner. I'm just a partner. I'm just a business partner. Like, what do you want? And we're gonna build that using our systems. Let's build it, and then you have an opportunity to invest in other clinics as well. So it's not just your main clinic. Once you're like, your clinic is running steadily, let's start investing in other clinics as well. That way you could help me, because we believe that we cannot do it ourselves for the 300. So it's like, we need more people, more soldiers to get to the 300.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, dude. That's a good one. All right, brother. Well, we've been on here for about an hour and 6 minutes already.
That is great.
So
Didn't feel like it.
yeah, I know. It's a good, man. I appreciate you coming on here and giving some time and
Oh,
telling
yeah,
us.
thank you for having me, man, and thank you for doing this for the profession.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Hey, what is the podcast that you're doing? If you want to give yourself a quick little plug so people can reach you, or if,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
people gonna reach out to you, man.
Spotify, YouTube, Apple is Path to Victory, and in Instagram I'm Path to Victory Cairo. So if you want to like just chat, hang out, just feel free to message me there, and I'll respond pretty quick.
All right, and same thing for students who are looking. If
Absolutely,
like,
students. We have a website as well, path2victorycairo.com. You can see what we do there. Everything that we talked about is on that website. And if you're interested, you can fill a form there, or just message me on Instagram.
nice, dude. That's it. Well, cool, Dr. Alejandro Elias. Thank you so much for today. I appreciate you. And hey, I know that you hooked us up with a couple other chiropractors, but if you think of some more, feel free to share the podcast with them and send them my way so we can get this out to everybody.
I sure will, dude. Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, bye-bye.